I'm going to be going over 3 problems that I think are a little bit more difficult that I want to give you a chance to have a video on, and so you can watch it and help you to understand so that when we come back together in class, you've already got some knowledge of the question. Number 18, it says 40% of a number is x. What is 100% of the number? Assume that x is more than 0, okay? You don't really need to worry about the assume that x is more than 0. What I want you to do is, as you look at this one, you look at this, and we could do it a couple different ways. We could do it the proportional way, where we have part over whole equals percentage over 100, percent over 100. So that way would be the number 40% of a number. So W would be N, and 40% would be this. 40% of a number is X. So X is your part. Okay, so we get it like that. Now we're going to cross multiply. So that would be N times 40 is 40N equals 100 times X, which is 100X. And then we're going to solve for N because we want to know the number. That's what it's asking. What is the number? What is 100% of the number? So we're going to do N. We're going to divide 40N by 40 and divide this by 40. And that's going to get me N equals 2.5X. So 40% of a number is X. And so what is the number? The number is 2.5x. It's 2.5 times x. So here is your answer. Now we could have done it as a algebraic equation also. 40% of a number is x. So 40%, I'm going to make that into a decimal. 0.4 of means multiplication. A number, we'll call that n, is equals x. Now we have to solve for n. We want to know what that number is. So we divide this by 0.4. We divide this by 0.4. So the number is x divided by 0.4. Now, I know that x always has a 1 there, because 1 times anything is always the thing. So 1 times x is the same as x. So now I could do 1 divided by 0.4, and I get n equals 2.5, and the x stays with it. So that's another way to figure it out. But the answer is 2.5x. So 40% of some number, which 100% of that number is the number, 40% of that number is x. So whatever x is, you times it by 2.5, and you'll get it to 100% of the number. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, and we can talk more about it in class. Number 19, it says account A has a simple annual interest rate of 4%, and account B has a simple interest rate of 2.5. How much less interest do you earn per year when you deposit X dollars in account B instead of account A? So I know my formula is I, that is interest, equals principal times rate times time. Now we have, let's do account A and account B. Account A, the interest it doesn't give us, equals the principal is X dollars, and the rate is for A is 4%, and the time is, because it's an annual interest rate, and it doesn't tell us how many years, then T is just 1 year. Now for B, it's interest equals same amount, but instead of a rate of 4%, now we have a rate of 2.5% times T, or just 1 because this is annual also. So now I'm going to put these together. I equals, make that into a decimal. X times 0.04 times 1 is 0.04x. And on this one, we do x times, I'm going to make this a decimal, so it's I equals x times 0.025 times 1. And when I do that, I get x, I get x times 0.025 times 1 is 0.025x. So now I want to get, it says how much less interest do you earn per year when you deposit X dollars in account B than account A. So you're going to take the difference of these two. So it's 0.04x minus 0.025x. And when you do that, you get 0.015x. And that's the interest. That's how much less interest you would earn. You could also say it's 15%. Nope, not 15. 1.5. 1.5% times x. Either way, it works. Once you have x, how much less you're going to earn? It's 1.5%. All right, number 22. Classroom A has a capacity of 50 students and is 70% occupied. Classroom B is 25% occupied. The ratio of occupancy of classroom A to B is 5:3. How many students can fit in classroom B? Okay, so we don't know the whole in B. I use this one using the proportional ratio, where you have the A equals part over whole equals percent over 100. So if we want to know, classroom A has a capacity, which is the whole. You can have 50 students in there. We don't know how many are in there right now. That's what we're going to figure out. And it's occupied at 70%. So when you do that, so 50 times 70 divided by 100, x equals 35. So 35 students are in classroom A. All right, that's one piece of information we needed to know. Now, it tells us the ratio of A to B is 5 to 3. So, A to B, A is 5, B is 3. We actually know what A is. It's 35. And so we can figure out B. 3 times 35 divided by 5 is 21. So B has 21 students. But we want to know how many can fit in classroom B. So we know it's with 21 students, it's 25% occupied. So we could just say 25 to 100% is times 4. So it's going to be 84 students. But let's also set it up as a AW equals percent over 100. This time we know how many students are in B. So 21 are in there. We don't know what the capacity is, but we do know that it is 25%. So 21 times 100 divided by 25 gets me 84 students. Can fit in B. So there's your answer. It's kind of a tricky one. But if you use the proportional method on W, that equals the capacity, the total, and A equals the occupied. How full is the room? Capacity is what the room can handle. Occupied is the part that is actually there. So when you do that and you use that 70% and you use the ratio of 5 to 3, you figure that out, and then you can figure out how many students can fit in B once you know that there are 21 students and that is 25% of the capacity. Okay? Hopefully that helps a little bit. We'll talk about those and any other questions you have on Monday.